Hi there. My name's Chris Kaufman. I'm the youth pastor at Pendleton Free Methodist Church, and today I want to show you how you can get your church live streaming by this Sunday for under $400. Now I know right off the bat, for maybe a lot of you, $400 sounds like a lot of money. Why do that when you can just live stream straight from a cell phone? But this is for church services who want better sound quality, better video quality than just a cell phone. So if you just want to live stream with a cell phone, you're free to do that. If you want to take it to the next level, this is the cheapest, best, fastest way to get you set up. So I'm going to be going over a couple of things here. I'm going to assume a couple of things here. Number one, that you're trying to use Facebook Live. There are a little bit different steps if you're trying to use YouTube or something like that, but that's kind of the basis of what I'm going to assume. Most of you are going to try to use Facebook Live. For our setup at our church, we use a Canon VR800, or not VR, VF800. It's a really fantastic camera. I will put a link to it in the description down below in YouTube for where you can buy it, where you can get it. It typically runs between $200 and $300. This is the big price item that you're going to buy. In fact, what I'm recording on right now is this camera. So this is the kind of quality that you can expect from this camera. For the price that you get, you really can't beat it too awful much. It has a 57 times zoom, which is fantastic if you're trying to shoot far away like we do during art services. Its internal mic is not terrible. It's actually pretty decent. As you can hear, I'm using the internal mic of this camera right now to record all of this. And in a minute here, I will show you the camera and show you how all of this works. So I recommend buying this camera. Like I said, the bulk of your price is right here in this camera, and if you're getting it between $200 and $300, you're getting a pretty decent deal on the camera. So you're going to want to get that, and then the other hardware stuff that you'll need is something called a video capture card, or a video capture device, and I'll show you that in just a second. Right now it's running the camera that I'm filming on, so I can't just show it to you. Those cost typically about $50 to $100, somewhere in that range, and that's the second biggest item that you're going to have to buy. Beyond that, you also need what's called a mini HDMI port. There's 3 different sizes for HDMI. The standard size that you're used to on most TVs is a Type A. That's what you're going to be going to. That's what your computers are going to be grabbing in most likely. The second size is a Type B, and that's the size that this particular Canon camera that I'm talking about today outputs in. And in a minute, when I show you the camera, I'll show you the adapter that we use as well to get there. These run, anywhere from $5 to $10 on Amazon. They're really cheap. I'll put the link in the description to get one of those too. Other than that, everything else you need will come with what you buy, and you will be ready to rock and roll. So before we get into the streaming aspects of this, let's just look at our hardware that I've got here that I just listed off to you. Let's take a look at that. I'm going to switch over to my phone camera so that I can show you everything on this camera. So give me just 1 second here as I switch over. Alright. Okay, so now I've got you on my cell phone camera. You can see there's my computer, and I'm just getting it into focus right now. The camera, the Canon camera that we use, is just this little thing. Looks like your old school recorders. It's got a really nice display screen here that flips back and forth. And like I said, really fantastic little thing. The zoom is on top here for wide and tighter angles. Really great to use. And right here on the side, you'll see I've got an HDMI cord plugged in to an adapter. This is that mini HDMI B adapter that I was telling you about. So this is what you're going to need to buy. There's your input right there. It's a little hard to see. Your on and off button as well for the camera works really well. And then if we follow this HDMI cord that I've got plugged in, you'll see on my desk here, I've got what's called a video capture device, or a video capture card. They're the same thing. And right here is what you're looking to buy. It's this little box, and it comes with a USB cord that runs into your computer. You can see there. So the reason you need this is because your computers will not allow you to input something via HDMI. They will allow you to output in HDMI, but you're trying to take this camera's video feed and put it onto your computer. So you're trying to input HDMI. So what this does is it takes the HDMI signal you can see there, that's an HDMI type, and it turns it into a USB signal. And that USB signal runs to your computer, and then you're inputting the camera. So if you look here on my recording setup on my computer, you'll see that this is actually the camera that we are recording on. This is the Canon camera over here on this side of the screen, and on this side is my phone camera right here as well. And that allows us to get it there. I'm going to switch over to a desktop view, and we're going to talk about all the streaming stuff that you have to do for this as well. So give me just 1 second here as we get there. Alright, so I'm on Facebook right now. This is my Facebook profile, and actually before I do that, let me hop out of this really quick. So the program that you're going to use to record everything is this program that I showed you on my phone a second ago. It's called OBS Studio. It's a fantastic program. It's 100% free. I highly recommend that you download it and use it. It will do wonders for you, and you can do a whole ton of stuff, or you can do as simple as you like. So when you download OBS, it's going to ask you a couple of things. Number one, it's going to ask you if you want to optimize for recording or optimize for streaming. I would recommend, if you're going to do streaming, that you optimize it for streaming, and it will walk you through the tutorial on how to do all of that. As you're walking through the tutorial here in OBS, it's going to ask you for a stream key. It's going to ask you, first off, what service are you using to stream? Most of you, I believe, are going to be using Facebook Live. So you're going to want to say Facebook Live, and then it'll ask you for a stream key. Now I'm going to go to Facebook here, and you'll see, this is my Facebook account right here, and I am an admin on our church's Facebook page, so I'm just going to click on the church Facebook page. And on this page here, once it loads and gets up and going, on this page, since I'm an admin, I can create a live video right here. My cursor's hovering right above the live video setting, so I'm going to click that. And this is how I'm going to get my stream key. This is going to allow me to stream OBS to Facebook. OBS is going to take your camera input and it's going to send it to Facebook. So in just a second here, as this loads, so it gives you a whole bunch of options here. We're going to choose the one that says use stream key right here on live video setup. And you can see down here it's waiting for my live video to begin. We'll get to that in just a second. But we're going to pick use stream key, and then under live API, it says stream key right there. You're going to want to copy that stream key, and then you're going to paste it into where it asks you in OBS as you're setting it up. What your stream key is, because your stream key is how OBS is going to know where to send this. Okay, so you've got your stream key put in, you are ready to go. Let's talk about getting a camera set up. So I'm going to start from scratch here with a brand new scene. When you open up OBS, you only have one screen. You can see I've got two screens here. One says program and one says preview. To get what I've got, you're going to want to hit this little button that says studio mode down here in the corner. And you can see now I've only got the one screen. If I click it and turn on studio mode, I'm back to my two screens there. And you can see it's just chaotic in there because it's just replaying the OBS the whole way down. Okay, so when you do that, you've got these panels that say scenes and sources. Now down here, you won't have anything in either of these because these will just be empty. You haven't created anything. These are all my different scenes and sources. As far as the program and the preview window go, think of your program as what is streaming live right now to your people. Okay, this is what people are going to see when you hit go live. Over here on your preview screen is what's on deck, what you can cut away to. So if I pick another scene I've got here, let's grab, see, this is the HD camera scene. This is actually a preview right now. If I were to cut it over to here, you'll actually see that your screen would go live with me in just this preview. So I'm going to cut that back to our OBS so you can see that and get rid of that so you don't have to look at my face while we do all this stuff. Okay, so we're going to set up a scene for this camera. Alright, so we need to get this camera captured onto a scene for us. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to hit the little add button down here by scene. Hit add. It's going to ask you for a scene name. We'll just call this service camera. How about that? Whoop, if I can spell. Okay, so service camera. And then over here in sources, the source is what is going to read on your scene and what your scene is going to see. So I'm going to click the add button there, and you get all these options for all these different things you can do. But the main one you're going to want to focus on is video capture device. Video capture device, we're going to click that, and you can just name this service camera as well. Alright, hit OK. Oh, that name is already in use because we used it as a thing, so I'm just going to call this camera. How about that? Nice and simple. Camera, alright. And as you can see here, it's grabbing my webcam first because my computer has a webcam built in. So under device, my other camera, this is my integrated webcam, is the camera that faces right here. The FHD web camera is the video capture device's name. So if I click this, it's going to give me our Canon camera view. Alright, and it'll take just a second here for it to find it. Oh, you know what? It will not find it because this camera is already in use on another scene. So I'm going to remove it from our scene here. You can see I've got a video capture device. I'm going to just hit remove. Yep, I want to remove that. Okay. Sorry about that. We're going to go back to our camera source. I'm going to left click it and hit properties. Now there's the integrated webcam and there's our FHD camera that I'm going to click. And then you can see it lets me use that camera just like that. So we've got this set up. Pretty much all of this is just going to be defaulted. You just want to leave it the way it is. You can hit OK. And now you'll see in my preview section of OBS, I have my camera view, and still in my live, what you are seeing now is my program view, right? And because you're looking at my program. So if I hit cut, again, it's going to go to what my preview is, and you guys are just going to see my face. You actually aren't going to see my OBS program at all right now because I've got this as the live view. I'm going to cut it back so you can keep seeing my OBS program now. Okay? So we've got our camera set up, we've got a scene set up for it. Now we need to get OBS to live stream to Facebook. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my Facebook page here. And I'm going to make sure all my settings are the way that I want them. Now you'll see at the top of the page, we're waiting for the live videos. So what you'll do on any given Sunday is let's just go back and start like this is a brand new Sunday. You want to stream to Facebook. You already got your stream key in. Everything's great. So I'm on my home page. I'm going to go to Pendleton Free Methodist Church, which is our church page here, and it's going to take it a second because I'm running so many things on my computer right now. I'm going to create live, and then it's going to send me to the live producer where I'll get to pick all my different options for this. Okay, so see, I've got use stream key selected, and that's the same stream key. It stays a persistent key that we entered in earlier when we started up OBS. I'm going to scroll down here. Everything here is probably going to be pretty normal from what you want. So we want to get our camera feed to come up in this big black box here that's showing here. So I'm going to go back to OBS. I'm going to hit the Start Streaming button. Now when I hit the Start Streaming button, you may be concerned that you're going to go live immediately, and that is not the case here. This is simply just sending the OBS signal, right, what we have on our camera views here. This is sending that signal to Facebook. You are not live yet, okay? So don't panic. If you hit this button, this is good. If I hit Start Streaming, we're going to go back to Facebook, and you're going to see what I mean by this. So hopping back to Facebook, you can see it says Connecting Live Video, and here now is our live video feed of me streaming to you guys. And you can see it's delayed a little bit because that's what it does. There runs about a 7 to 10 second delay on any Facebook live stream here. But you can see we're live and we're looking live here, and it's going to keep getting smaller and smaller, and that's going to give us a headache if we keep watching that. So we've got our camera showing up here. In fact, let's actually do, well, you won't be able to see that, so let's not do that. But we've got our feed showing up the way we want it to show up here. That's great. Now you have some choices here. You can schedule the live video or you can go live now. If you hit go live now, you will be going live, okay? That's when you're going live. But you see I've selected schedule live video, and this is what we do at our church. You pick a date, usually it's the date that you're in, and you've got to schedule 10 minutes out. So don't try to do this last second if you're doing it. Just hit the go live when you want to go live if you're doing that. But if you want to schedule it out, you can pick a time anytime after 10 minutes from now. It'll automatically select 10 minutes from now for you. And then you would just hit schedule live video to begin. You also want to give your video a title, live title option right here. I'm just going to type some random. And maybe you want to say hi to your church family in the comments. So, hi church family. And that just lets people know. When you schedule this live video, everyone following your page will get a notification that you have scheduled a live video for them to view. So it's a fantastic tool to schedule out. It helps drive more people to your page. Okay. Now the one thing we haven't talked about yet is audio, and I've been waiting to talk about audio because audio is a little bit of a different beast. I'm going to cut you back so you guys can see my face here. So audio tends to be more of a complex issue with churches. Every church runs their audio system a little bit differently. If you're just starting out, if you're not super tech-minded, what you're going to want to do is likely just use the microphone that's built into the Canon camera. And I'll show you that first when I jump back to OBS. If you're a little bit more advanced of a church, or you have a sound guy who you feel like he knows what he's doing, you can do what we do. And what we do is we actually capture the audio coming from out of our soundboard. We run it as a monitor strain out of our soundboard so that we can customize that mix. That mix is totally different than what is live on a Sunday morning for us. And we can play around with it and listen to it in headphones and see what we like. And then we send that mix to OBS as a separate channel of audio. Again, a little bit more complicated. It involves a couple more cords. You'll need some 4th inch jacks to 8th inch and probably some XLR inputs and outputs to get you there. But if you have a church audio tech who you feel comfortable, who knows what they're doing, maybe ask them, or if you feel comfortable doing that, you can do that as well. But for right now, let's just assume that you want to do just a basic audio setup. So we're just going to use the audio setup that comes out of our Canon microphone, okay? And if you're going to do this, again, it's probably best that your Canon camera is as close to the people that you're filming as possible to get the best sound possible too. So I'm going to go over and flip us back to OBS so you guys can see the program here. And you'll notice in OBS, so we've got our scenes, our sources, and now our audio mixer, okay? And our audio mixer, what that does is it captures all of our audio. You can see I've got three different mixers going. Down here, this mic aux2 is the Canon camera mic that you're hearing right now. My desktop audio and my mic audio are muted. These are just my internal computer microphone that doesn't sound great, and my desktop, whatever plays through my speakers, basically. And I've muted those things because I don't want you to hear those things. That's not good. So let's start like we don't have this here, and I'm going to show you how we do this. So we're going to go up to File, and we're going to hit Settings, and then we're going to go down to Audio, okay? And this is Settings is where you'll see all your general stuff to change stuff. Most of it should be alright right now. But under Audio, you have General, and then you have Devices. Now your sample rate, you either want your sample rate to make sure that that's 44 kilohertz or 48. It doesn't matter too awful much, but you want it to be one of those. If it says something like 20 up there, make sure you change that down below. Now you can add audio devices. You'll see here I've got desktop audio, right, and that says default. Then I've got desktop audio 2, that's disabled because, again, I don't want you guys to hear my desktop audio. Mic/auxiliary audio, and that is reading my internal computer microphone right now. But again, I had that muted back there, alright? And then you got mic audio 2, 3, and 4 as well. And you can see under 2 I've got the digital audio interface webcam reading that. If I am just starting out and I don't have pre-stuff set up, what you should do is just take your mic auxiliary audio and click that drop-down menu and click on whatever the name of your camera is, right? And it should be something like Digital Audio Interface FHD Webcam. Something similar to that is what you'll have. And then you'll want to click OK, Apply, and what you'll get is down here you'll get your levels. And you can see that you can actually make it quieter on OBS by doing this. So my microphone is picking up less and less and less now. Or you can make it louder by moving the dial up too. Now, general rule is you want to try to stay away from the red zone area. And if you're going up over that red zone area, that means you're clipping. So you want to make sure that you turn that back down. Okay. I'm going to cut back to me here. Other than that, there really isn't much more that you guys need. I know I threw a lot at you. So if you have questions, if you have comments or anything, feel free to comment in the description down below. You can also email me at Chris Kaufman, that's ChrisKaufman, at pend, P-E-N-D, FMC.org. And I would love to help you out with whatever audio problems or visual problems you might be having. I hope your live streaming goes well. I hope that it is attended well, and I look forward to hearing how stuff goes. Until next time.